Hi all, welcome to the Node.js bootcamp. Okay, so today is the first class for the Node.js. Before starting the course, you must have idea on already you must have an idea on few things like HTML. You should have idea on HTML. You should have idea on CSS. Okay, and you should have idea on JavaScript also. Okay, these three are enough. If you don't have idea on React also, that is fine. So will not be like React is a front end and the Node.js is a back end completely. So which works on server. So if you don't have idea on React also, that is fine. So we will be discussing on Node.js completely in this course. It will take around 2 days, like mostly it will take 5 to 10 sessions. Okay. Okay, fine. So let me just quickly share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Let me open a new window. Yep. Okay, fine. So in this class, we will be just understanding what is React. Okay, what is the purpose of the React? What we can do with React and all. Sorry. Node. What we is Node? What is Node.js? Okay, so we'll see basic things. We'll understand what is Node.js and all. We'll understand it, and then we'll slowly start with. We'll develop a particular page. Okay, so by the end of the course, we'll try to create this. This is a React page. This is not a Node.js page. This is a React page. So like this, we'll create one kind of a blog site. Okay, like this itself, same way. We'll create one kind of blog site using Node.js. Okay, using Node.js, we'll try to create that. See, this is like if you click on this one, okay, why this failed to fetch? I have closed it, I guess. Just give me a moment. I will just run it. CD space. Yeah, port. So I'm just showing you how the React will be working out like that. Let us see how the React is looking like. I'll just give you an idea on it. The same duplicacy will create it by using this Node.js also. Mhm. This is the React server I'm starting. So, okay. So like this is the home page. Okay. So this is a single page application which was created by using this React. Okay, this is when I click on this home button, it is loading here. When I click on a new blog, it will be loading this one. Okay, again, if I come back to home page, I click on this any one of the blog, so I can delete a blog. So see, it is loading here, and if I create a new blog, ABCD, add blog, so it has added ABCD. Okay, so this is a single page application which was created using React. Okay, using only React. Okay, in that it will be involving multiple things. CSS will be involved. Okay, HTML will be everything will be involved. Okay, JavaScript, everything will be involved. A few things of JavaScript and also will be involved. But in this, like the same way, we'll be creating this Node.js in the same kind of a way. We'll create a Node.js application also. Okay, so let us come back. So before starting, so what is the purpose of the Node.js and what is Node.js and all, we'll understand it first. Okay, so whenever you talk about a browser, okay, website, okay, whenever you talk about a website, the only thing you talk about it is front end and back end. It's front end, which is nothing but browser. Back end, which is nothing but server. Okay, so whenever you talk about any website that is developed, any web application or any kind of thing, the only thing you have it in mind is front end, which is a browser, which is like where you can design the browser, like where you can create a front end by using the JavaScript and all. Okay, which will be running on a browser. Okay, back end is nothing but which will be mostly focused on the server. Okay, so in coming to this front end, we'll be using JavaScript, right? We'll be using JavaScript. So what do we do? So whatever we write the code, whatever the code that we write on the JavaScript, that will be rendered by a V8 engine. That will be rendered by a V8 engine. Okay, I hope you're understanding it. So what is rendering? Like we'll see that. So whenever we write our code in JavaScript, that can be only loaded on the browser. That can be only loaded only on the browser. So if I have some particular JavaScript code, I can't run that code in my computer, right? So for example, you have a Java code, Java application you have developed or something. Okay, any kind of a code you take it, Java code or Python code, you can run that application in your mobile, sorry, in your laptop or a computer, right? You can run that application in your laptop or a computer. But when it comes to this browser front end, whatever the browser, the web application that you have developed, you can't run that on your laptop or a computer. Okay, you can run your JavaScript on your code, no, on your browser or like, sorry, on your laptop or a computer. You can't do that. We haven't never tried that. Like we haven't never tried that. So using that JavaScript, we can just write the code and we can be loaded only on the browser. But to write that code and to load it on the server side also, that means on your computer. Okay, to run that code on your computer, we need an environment. We need an environment for that. That environment will be created by the Node.js. Okay, that environment will give us to create that environment will be given to us by the node. Okay, we can using the JavaScript, we will be writing the code. Okay, using the JavaScript. Okay, we can write our JavaScript. We can write our JavaScript using this node, and we can run multiple server-side applications. We can write in the development. We can run our codes and everything on our backend, which is nothing but on your computer you can run it. Okay, so on the browser you can only use JavaScript. Okay, to make your code run on your computer also, Node will be creating us that environment. Node will give us that environment to run that particular type of code, whichever that is there in the JS script. Okay, JavaScript, either it can be JavaScript, can be C++, sorry, Java. Okay, you can use Java, either you can use Python. So multiple backend languages are there. So if you just backend languages, see, multiple languages are there to write the code in at the backend. Okay, these are nothing but server-side applications. Say backend languages. So first one is C#, Go, Java, JavaScript, which we are like JavaScript has a wide community. Okay, so JavaScript, since we already know the JavaScript, okay, so that is one of the reason we already know the JavaScript. We have learned through in the front end. Okay, so using that itself, we'll be learning the back end also. You don't have to use another language. You don't have to learn another language. You don't have to learn Python to learn the back end. You don't have to learn Java or PHP. Okay, so you don't have to learn another language to for especially for the backend itself. So since we already know the JavaScript from the front end, so we'll be using the same language at the backend also. Okay, since we already know for the front end we have learned the JavaScript, right? So we'll be using the same language for the backend also. Okay. And what exactly happens? What exactly happens at the backend? What is the computers and code? So what is the language that computer understand? Okay, so computer understands only computer or any laptop or anything. Okay, computer can understand only the machine level code. Okay, computer can understand only machine code, that is zeros and ones, right? So zeros and ones. So whatever we write it, okay, whatever we write it is on our own language. So what is the language that we use? Okay, computer's language is machine level. Like can understand only machine code, but we can't understand machine code, right? It is very difficult to learn machine code. It will take a lot of it will take a lot of time to understand it and to learn it. Everything, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so what is our language? We will be writing the code in any language like C++, okay, C#, okay, JavaScript, Python. So these are the language we understand and we write it in this code, this kind of a code. Okay, we write it in this language, and we will convert it into a assembly language. Okay, we will, whatever the code that we have written, okay, whatever the code that we have written, in this language, that will be converted into an assembly level language. That will be converted into an assembly language, and then it will be moved to this computer mission level code. Okay, assembly language also a little bit difficult to understand it. Okay, then it will be converted into machine code so that computer can understand. Okay, so whatever we are writing JavaScript, okay, using a V8 engine that is converted, like that is available in the browser. Okay, in this, how we are able to load it on the browser. The browser, how it is understanding it. So the compiler which is there in this, okay, the compiler which is there in the browser, which is nothing but V8 engine, that converts our JavaScript code to a browser, like where the browser can understand into that language. It will be converting it. Okay, so browser can be understanding, but it cannot be understand by our, okay, it cannot be understand by our computer. Okay, JavaScript code, whatever you have written till now, that is converted by the V8 engine. So it is rendering it and it is loading it on your browser. But only the browser can understand that particular language, but the computer cannot understand it. Okay, the computer cannot understand it. So what we will do, we will just write our code in JavaScript. Okay, to make the computer understand, what we will do, we will just write the code in JavaScript and we will run this code on a V8 engine in Node.js environment. Okay, under the Node.js environment, we'll run this code. After that, it will be converted into the machine code, so that the computer can understand it. Okay, that is what we are going to do. And this Node.js, this Node.js is written in the language C++. Okay, it is written in the language of C++. Okay, so normally previously what we used to do, whenever we write the code in JavaScript in our Visual Studio Code or wherever, WebStorm or anywhere, it was used to convert to the browser. It is used to load on the browser with the help of a V8 engine that is available. Okay, with the help of a V8 engine that is available. Okay, and it will be converted into the browser. It will be loaded out on the browser. But if I want my JavaScript code to understand by the computer, what I'll do, I'll just use the same V8 engine in Node.js environment, which is written in the language C++. Okay, so here I'll compile it and then it will be converted into the machine level code. Okay, so that the computer can understand it. Okay, so what does this V8 actually does? What is the purpose of this V8 and what is actually does in this particular node environment? Under the node environment. Okay, so the V8 engine, okay, this V8 engine is nothing but it will be reading under the Node.js. It can read and write files on a computer. I hope you're understanding it. Now, what I'm saying here, it can read and write files on the computer. I'm saying it is not on your particular folder what you have created, not on in JavaScript. You might have seen to load a particular from a URL, to load the data from a URL, to load the data from a local file. Okay, a local DB JSON or a JSON file or database, JSON server database. You might have learned about it, but here I'm talking about the computer where it can actually read our own computer. It can access our computer. Okay, so we are going to write a JavaScript code in such a way that backend code, which can access our local files that are there in our own computer. Okay, it will be accessing the data. Like your entire computer can be accessed by the JavaScript that we are going to write it. Okay, read and write the files on a computer. It can connect to the database also. It can connect to the database also. And so far it can act as a server for content. Okay, it will be acting as a server for content. Okay, it will be acting as a server for content. So what is this actually like? This server front end browser and the server. What is the server side and client side? Okay, so if you have any idea on like server side and client side. Okay, server client side is nothing but a browser. Okay, just assume that it is a browser. Okay, so server side is nothing but where it is the backend. It is actually the backend where it has all the data and all, holds the data and all in your physical files and all. Database, let us say that as database. See, for example, whenever we used to run the JavaScript codes on our browser, we used to get the data. Where we used to get the data? We'll be used to get the data in our local files itself. Okay, it will be based on the code that we have written. It will just answer there and there itself. If it is having any questions like solving the problems and all. Okay, solving the problems and all. It will be just resolving everything at the front end itself, and it will be answering then and there itself. Okay, but when you want to get the data, okay, when you want to get the data from the browser, okay, the request will be sent to the server side. The request will be sent to the server side, like client side and server side. Let me write it down. Okay, so you see this. Okay, so this is just a simple example. Okay, so whenever you're having any kind of a data, okay, whenever you're having any kind of a page or you're accessing any kind of a page, if the work then and there itself, it is resolving here itself. Okay, so on your screen itself, it is like from the front end itself, the JavaScript is handling all the data. Okay, if it is handling all the data and all, in the front end itself. That is nothing but client side. That is nothing but client side. If the request, whenever you are placing a request and the request is sent back to the server, okay, and the request is sent back to the server, that is nothing but you are communicating with the backend. You are communicating for every request that you want to make. Okay, for every request or for every whatever the request that you want to make, if it is the request is sent back to the server and it is getting replying, you are getting the reply from the server. That is nothing but server side. Okay, client side environment and server side environment. This is like nothing but database. Whenever you are asking for any password, you are entering some password or something to verify that if it is going to the backend and it is checking it and it is coming back to the front end to whether it is successful or not, it is giving back to the reply. That is nothing but server side applications. Okay, so we are going to create those kind of servers. Okay, we are going to create. We are going to understand how the server side we are going to work on it. How to handle the request on the server side. Okay, but why to use this Node.js? What is the purpose and what is the use of this? Why exactly Node.js itself? Because you don't have to learn another server side language. Okay, so you don't have to learn. You already know the JavaScript. You don't have to learn another server Python or Java. Anything you don't have to learn it. So we already know the JavaScript. So it is the best thing. Okay, so if you know the front end JavaScript, you can go with the same backend also as a JavaScript, and we can also share the code. The first one is no need to learn an extra language for server. That is why we are going with Node.js. Okay, can share the code. Can share code between front end and back end. Front end and back end. Okay, so and also it has a lot of maximum community, like Node.js has a max community. Node.js has a massive community. Behind it. So it is like friendly, like you can go with, it is not restricted to only few kinds of a few servers or few computers or laptop, few versions itself. It can be supported in multiple devices, like different kinds of devices. Okay, and it has a huge third-party packages and tools to help. Huge amount of third-party packages. Okay, third-party packages and tools to help. Okay, so it is like as add-ons. Okay, whenever you are taking any premium for anything, it is like an add-on. You will be able to get few more extra things, right? So all the add-ons will be available with this Node.js. Okay, so this is what is the like. Why do we have to learn this Node.js itself specifically? Okay, coming to the next thing. In this course, what we are going to learn? Okay, in this course, what we are going to learn? First is environment. We'll learn the environment that is required to. We'll understand the environment that we required to install the Node.js and the Node and use it on the JavaScript. How to install it and how do you use it on the JavaScript? We'll be seeing it, and then we'll be learning about read and write. Okay, read and write files on our computer. Okay, on our computer, and also we'll create a server. How to create a server using Node.js. Okay, server using Node.js to create a website. Okay, and also we'll be using, we'll be able to, we'll understand how to create an Express app. Okay, an Express app or website. And then we'll be learning about the MongoDB, how to use MongoDB. Using database, how to use using MongoDB. Okay, it is a database, a NoSQL database, and also how to create, how to use template engines, how to create, how to use template engines to easily create HTML views. Okay, you will be able to understand what is the views and all. Okay, and covering all this will create a simple blog site. Okay, so I already shown you how the blog site is going to look. That is a React one. We are going to create the same kind of a thing, like a little bit color changes and all. We'll create the same thing, but using the React, sorry, using the Node. Okay, so let me just open. So first we'll go with the environment. What is the environment that you require? Okay, if you have just go to the browser and click on this Node.js and click on the download symbol. Okay, so based on your Mac, or if you are using Mac or Windows or anything, go with the current. Okay, so Mac current, go with the current, and then go with the, let me just cancel it. If it is Mac you are using, click on that, or is Windows or the source code you wanted. So you can click on either both of this, any one of it, you can click on it. Not any one of it. If you are using the same Mac, then only you need to click on this one. And if it is the installer Windows you are using, click on this one. And then you must have the Visual Studio Code. If you don't have the Visual Studio Code, search for Visual Studio Code. Click on the download symbol that you'll be seeing it. Okay, why? Visual Studio Code. Okay, click on the download. So if you are using Mac OS or Windows, Linux, based on it, you just download it. Okay, after downloading both of them, just check whether you are having the Node.js or not. Okay, just verify in your laptop, go to your command prompt, open the run, go to the command prompt and search, just say that as node space v. Okay, node space version, like this is hyphen version. So node space hyphen v. So for me, it is node space hyphen v. Okay, so for you, it is node space double hyphen v. Okay, node space double hyphen v. Check whether you are having the latest version or not. Okay, it doesn't need to be latest version. Like if you have it already, you can just go with it. Okay, and then open your Visual Studio Code. Open the Visual Studio Code. Go to the file. Create a new folder first. Create a new folder on your desktop. So come to your desktop. Let me create a new folder here. Okay, double click new folder. So I'm going to say that as Node.js. Okay, load that folder on your Visual Studio Code. Open folder. Go to the desktop. Click on the Node.js. Click on open. Okay, so it is loaded, right? So it has loaded. Now, create a file here. Okay, create a file here. So demo.js. Create a file using the JS itself directly. So what is the difference between the Node.js, like server side? Okay, server side JavaScript and the client side JavaScript. Okay, server side front end JavaScript and back end JavaScript. What is the difference between both of them? Like it is mostly the same thing. It is mostly the same. So whatever the JavaScript that you have learned for the browser, the same thing will be using it here also. Okay, little bit modifications will be there, little bit modifications will be there. So we'll understand that also. We'll understand that. Okay. I hope it is clear up to here. Like, let me just create this, copy this, everything. Let me create a text file. Okay. Yeah. So now I have copied everything. Yeah. Now we'll see about this. We'll write some few JavaScript codes here. So for example, I have a constant name equals to Yoshi. Constant name is equals to Yoshi. So just say that I console.log of name. Okay, console.log of name. Save it. And how do you run this particular JavaScript code on React.js at the backend? So go to open the new terminal. Open the new terminal and verify. Check whether you are there in the same folder or not. Here you are there in the Node.js, right? You should be having the same Node.js. So just check it, pwd. Just check with pwd. So my folder is this Node.js folder is there on my desktop. So it is showing the same thing on the desktop in the Node.js folder. So now if I want to run this particular code, okay, if I want to run this particular code, okay, I want to run this particular code, JavaScript code. So how do you run it? Node space, okay, node space, just say demo. Okay, you don't have to give the .js or any kind of extension. It is not required. You just need to give node space demo. That's it. Okay, node space demo. Let me just give a few more things. So if you have a function, if you want to define a function, you can define. So hello. So whatever you have written in the, however you have written your JavaScript codes in the same way, we'll be doing it here also. Okay, console.log of hello world. Okay, so run it. So node space demo. So I didn't call it here. So hello. Let me call it, run it once again. So you can see this, right? So whatever you have written it in the JavaScript, in the same way we'll be writing it, and few things will be changed. Okay, few things will be different from the other one, from the JavaScript, original JavaScript, and this backend JavaScript. Few things will be changing. That also we'll be seeing it one by one, like what are the changes that are made. Okay, and what else? Okay, like I mentioned, we will be looking into how to read and write the files on a computer, create a server using Node.js to create a website. Okay, Express app or website will be saying using MongoDB. We'll be using how to, we'll be learning how to use the MongoDB. Okay, use template engines, everything will be doing it. And then we'll see few examples, like let me just cover a few things. In if you open any kind of a browser, okay, just go to the any browser. Let us say the React itself, go to the inspect. Okay, go to the inspect. If you just come to this one, okay, and you type window here, this is nothing but a global object for the browser. In the browser, the global object is nothing but window, which will be having lot of properties. Okay, which is nothing but server time, like what do you say? Set interval, set timeout, everything related to that, everything is there under this window. Okay, under this window. So how do you access that particular thing in your JavaScript? We'll be using the document. Under this document, we'll be saying that set interval and all, we'll be using it, right? So likewise, in the same way, how you are using this window, we will be using the global object that we will be using it in the backend is, okay, is global. Okay, likewise, in the same way, if you say that, let me give it. So the global object here is, as it is window there for the browser, for the server side, it is global. So let me just say that as global. Okay, so if I run it, you can see this, right? Whatever the properties that are there. Okay, so set timeout, set interval. Okay, clear interval, clear timeout. So these are the functions that are available for this one. So for that, actually, it is having lot many things. Likewise, in the same way, this is also have a few things for its own. Like this is kind of a global object. This is nothing but a global object. So if you want to print it out, what are the things that are supported, you can just print out by using console.log of global. How we are going to write it normally in this JavaScript, you'll just say that as set timeout. Okay, we'll just say that as set timeout and console.log of in a meeting. Okay, in a meeting, you'll just say, okay, comma 3000, comma 3000. So what will happen here? So when you just go back, let me just comment this out. Okay, so here we'll be using global. There, how we are using the window, here we will be using the global.set timeout. Let me just clear it. Okay, execute this one, demo. So hello world, after 3 seconds, it will be executed. So I am in a meeting. Okay, I am in a meeting, like it is executing. How it is working in the same way, it will be working here also. But the only thing that is changing is here we will be using global, there will be using window. Okay, there will, even though there also will not be mentioning it specifically, here also we don't require it to be mentioned specifically, explicitly, we don't have to mention as it a global. Okay, as a global, we don't have to mention. Yeah, set timeout and all. So 3,000 seconds. Likewise, in the same way, I'll just write it out, set. Let me declare another variable, constant. Okay, constant int is equals to set interval, open brackets. Okay, console.log of interval, comma 1000. So, okay, so interval, comma 1000. As you give it, like if you just save it and execute, you'll keep on executing. So interval. You see, it is keep on executing it. Okay, so I have closed it. Let me just open once again. Yeah, so that is what the global object is. That is what the global object is. Here, the global object is nothing but global. There we used to have the global object, which is window. Okay, in the coming classes, we'll be looking into modules. What are the modules and all, how to create it. Okay, so templates, everything will look into in the coming class. Okay, so as of now, that's it. I'll be taking the doubts if you have any. Let me just stop sharing my screen.